barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. 30-day challenge going on right now. Feel free to hop on. Also, feel free to join my Patreon. We're giving away 2 tickets to Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and to culminate the 30-day challenge and the celebration of Deontay Wilder, we doing a buffet breakfast, 8:30 a.m. at the Ritz-Carlton in downtown LA, which is the epic center of the fight, which is right across the street from the Staples Center. So feel free to join. If you've done the 30-day challenge, I got you on the breakfast, the first 20 people. And in addition to that, when you join my Patreon, you get my latest book, Why Did I Sleep With Him? So feel free, join in, hop on, join the Patreon, and I appreciate you guys. I already got the introduction. I don't have to do that. I want to talk about something since you guys are talking about betting $1 million and talking about they may have bet $1 million and whether they honor it is totally up to them. I personally don't care. But I'm gonna just talk some real knowledge. I'm giving you, dude, my last couple of videos, guys. I hope y'all understand the premise and don't look at the title and say Fred is talking about Terrence Crawford. Fred is talking about Errol Spence. No. No, it's to get you to click. I'm going to talk about the topic, but you got to put yourself in their shoes. And then, I believe, you'll get the message. But Terrence Crawford willingly bet, I think Earl said 100, he said $1 million. They shook hands. They both millionaires, multi-millionaires over, and they're projected to make millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Now, I'm going to push to LeBron James for a second. When LeBron James was in Cleveland, he signed a 4-year deal with a player option on each year to hold people accountable. Right? You guys understand where I'm going with this? Dan Gilbert wrote a letter about how he had disdain and distaste for LeBron James. Remember all of this, right? So when he went back to Cleveland, the reason why he had a player option was to hold his hand to the fire, and ultimately, he really didn't trust Dan Gilbert. But he wanted to win a championship for Akron and Cleveland. It's his hometown. Who doesn't want to win a national championship, high school championship, NBA championship for their city, for their town? You become a legend. You understand? And I can respect all of that. And why I'm drawing a parallel to Terrence Crawford is if he can bet $1 million, and if Errol Spence can bet $1 million, it goes both ways. Okay, I'm not choosing sides per se. All right. If Terrence Crawford is under contract with Top Rank and he can bet a man $1 million based on whether he wins, he should have a clause in his contract that he can pay $1 million to get out of his contract. Free and clear. Remember Floyd paid $750 to Bob Arum? He should have that in his contract if that's what he can afford. Obviously, he has expository income. You know, he's a wealthy and rich. I'm uncertain if he's wealthy, but I know he's a rich athlete. You understand? I'm uncertain if Errol Spence is wealthy. I know he's rich. You know, and but there should be a clause, for a buyout clause in his contract if he can bet $1 million. But these are the things that we got to be thinking about as when we're in life. Some of us may be going on to getting a radio deal. You understand, whether you're a host on the radio or whether you're have a contract in a movie or you have a contract for housing, whatever the case may be. You need an out clause. And I'm uncertain if Terrence Crawford has one. I'm uncertain if Errol Spence has one or anything like that, the contracts that he has signed. But you want to give yourself a way out. It may cost you a little bit, obviously, because there are people's lives and jobs that you're impacting when you go against your word. So I understand the out clause and the clause, and so I understand all of this because you're not just impacting Bob Arum's bottom line. You're impacting, go all the way down to everyone that works at the stadium in Omaha, Nebraska, where Terrence Crawford fights, or where at the Star Center where Errol Spence fights. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you want to keep yourself in a position of power. You want to keep your position as the primary variable. You're not working for someone. Your talents are working for you. And when you're able to turn your talents into a skill, it blossoms into a full-on tree where you're getting where you're getting fruit from every branch of the tree. And it's not just fighting in the ring, it's getting your endorsement deals, it's getting your shoe deal, it's getting your alcohol beverage deal, it's uh, getting your appearance fees. All of that is part of your tree. You understand? And if you don't have a way to protect yourself, I'm uncertain of the contracts on both sides of the fence. I don't know the contract that Earl Spence signed because he has no promoter, but he has signed contracts to take on fights. He has signed contracts probably with advertisers and endorsements and stuff like that. Or we know Terrence Crawford has a contract with Top Rank, right? So at the end of the day, this should have been a conversation that they should have to keep themselves in power. You understand? Like his endorsement deals. Does Bob Arum get a piece of his endorsements? Earl Spence does. Al Heyman gets a piece of his endorsements. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, keep yourself in a position of power. All right. I'm not accusing them of not being in a position of power. I don't know. But what I do know is these guys are great talents. These guys are um, um, the creme de la creme. You understand? They're top 10 fighters. If you put all the fighters in one room and you got to pick 10 best fighters, they are two of the top 10 that you probably would pick. You know, arguably, you know, or many of us would pick. Let's use many. And but that's it, man. I think that video, whether you're of the hip hop culture, you can learn a lot. Whether you're um, uh, non-contemporary, I think you can learn a lot. But I think me, myself, and I think this channel is so you can see things from 50,000 feet. Step out of your physical being. Step out of your normalcies. Step out of love and hip hop reactions. You guys listen to videos half ignorant. I can tell by the comments, right? And I can tell y'all don't finish the videos because you comment and you keep going. I'm not telling you shouldn't comment or when you comment, but step out of yourself. You understand? And grasp what I'm talking about. Apply it to your life. Apply it to reality. Apply it to something that you've seen in your life. You understand where I'm coming from? Because far too many of y'all are knee-jerk reactions. I'm seeing in the comment section just knee-jerk reactions to the topic, and you don't listen to the video. That's ignorance. That's being stupid. That's being dumb. All right. So at the end of the day, take the time. I'm getting better at this myself. Stepping out of myself. And when you can look at things from 50,000 feet, you see all variables involved. Everyone want to fight and be tough, be the strongest, curse you out. You curse me out, I punch you. You punch me. Hopefully that punch knocked you out or made you weak so I can counter punch you and I win the fight. We're not savages anymore, man. I don't care what no one tell you. I don't care what your mama tell you, what your daddy tell you, what your cousin, your grandma. You have to be an intellectual in this world. You can be the toughest. You can be the strongest. You can be the most athletic. You can be the richest. You can be the most smartest, you have to be an intellectual in this world. And far too many of you guys in the comment section are leaning on your own understanding. And when I was younger, I leaned on my own understanding and I bumped heads a lot. I failed. I don't fail as much now in my 40s as I did in my 30s. I don't fail as much now in my 40s as I did in my 20s. You understand? Wisdom is the gift of application. All right? You can be as knowledgeable as you want to be. Like I just dropped a video on my Patreon, how to turn $30,000 into $1 million. It's a process that will work 100% foolproof. Obviously, you're going to have tenant problems. Obviously, you got to pay your taxes. Obviously, you're going to have to learn how to be a handyman. You have to learn how to understand piping and galvanize and copper and you know what I mean, wooden floors versus laminate. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn and go through all of that. But the process, right? If you sat down with Will Smith, how'd you become a millionaire? And he said he read these 6 books, and you said I don't want to read. You get what I'm saying? So I urge y'all, okay? I urge y'all to get out of your way, step out of yourself, and see it from 50,000 feet. Because when you get 40, 45, 50, you don't want to fight no more. Nah, you're going to get a gun. You're going to get a pistol. You don't want to. I'm being real with you guys. I hang around older men now because I'm 41. So these motherfuckers be carrying little 22s and shit. You know what I mean? Just they don't want to fight y'all young dudes. They at a great disadvantage. All right. So at the end of the day, step out of yourself. Get out of your own way. All right, and understand. Get a greater business acumen. All right. See yourself making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. Far too many of you guys think that is unattainable. I mean, if you saw, getting back to the topic, if you saw Terrence Crawford um, um, with his mother, if I would have saw that 5 years ago, oh man, oh man, that shit hit home with me. You know, it that was it resonated in me, and uh, I think that we have to envision us being great. All right. I see it in the comment section. You guys come in the comment section every day, negative. Some of you, many of you guys are positive. I understand that. And I salute y'all. I applaud you, but it's a mindset. It's funny when you disagree and then you add a personal attack to it. You got character. You do. You can disagree and not have it a personal attack. A lot of you guys don't even see the difference in that, right? You guys think I'm killing Terrence Crawford. Nah, I tell you guys, I think Terrence Crawford is a hell of a father. You know what I mean? He's always at these wrestling tournaments and all that, but you guys don't ever see the big picture. Replace Terrence Crawford's name with your name. I'm not. I'm using boxing, and I think it's important now that I talk about this. I'm using boxing to talk about life. I love boxing, but I also want us to be better. I also want every last one of us to be multimillionaires. And whether you believe that, it's totally on you. You can ball up your fist and say Fred's a hater, he's a cornball, he's this, he's that. I've heard that already. I don't block you because I believe one day the light is going to cut on. The comments you guys say is I've never been offended by either of your comments. Not one comment has ever offended me on this channel. It doesn't. But at the end of the day, if you don't, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I'm done talking about Terrence Crawford. I think I did that the first half of the video. If you don't step out of yourself, you will live a one-sided life for the rest of your life, and you will only see it one way. And don't forget, there's over 7 billion people in this world. Excuse me, forgetting that there's over 7 billion people in this world. You're not right all the time. I'm not right all the time. But when you lean on wisdom, which is the gift of application, you will become successful. Simple. Like me, I use me as an example. Um, just so I can get you guys' attention, I'll talk about cars. I wanted a Wraith or a Rolls Royce. I test drove all of them. You can go to my Instagram. I test drove all of them. I did all that. I was going to spend $200,000 on a car and yada yada yada. Dre wanted a Tesla. What the fuck is a Tesla? I'm being real. Rolls Royce, Tesla is not. It's not comparable. I'm being real G with y'all. It's not comparable. I want a four-door Ghost, right? So I test drove the Tesla and I says, oh my God, this is the most perfect car I've ever driven in my life. I had to step out of myself to see it. I don't have to worry about Dre and the kids going to the gas station ever fucking again. You know how much peace of mind I have? Like I don't, even when she had her car that had gas in it, there was there's a handful of times a year where you can't be there to pump the gas. You understand where I'm coming from? And I don't like the thought of her being her position being compromised in an idling position. You know, if you guys are from the neighborhood, some of you guys are, you know what happens at gas stations. You know, when a car cuts off, they know you can't get away and they see you as prey. So that gave me a peace of mind. We have a gas station at the house. You can just plug in the car. You know what I'm saying? That gave me a peace of mind, and it's gonna impact my bottom line in a positive way. This is the first car I've ever driven that affects me in a positive way. Whereas it's no gas, it's no oils, it's no engine, it's no fluids. You understand where I'm coming from? So at the end of the day, we got to get out of our own way. Because that car would have satisfied my ego. My ego would have been like, oh man, cloud nine. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm the big fish in the big pond. When in actuality, I need space for two kids because in 2 years, Lincoln's gonna have a basketball in the back, a soccer ball in the back, his portable piano. You understand, with a keyboard. You understand? Kennedy's gonna be doing whatever. I don't know what they're gonna be doing. You know, I'm just giving you guys that. I'm not telling you what. I mean, as they grow, they'll grow into what they want to become. But get out of your own way. All right, and only use that example because I know it's a polarizing example because it's real numbers. And you guys are gonna be in the comment section talking about cars, and I don't give a fuck about that. Listen, bet and believe in yourself, but see the big picture. Excuse me, and see the big picture. All right, you will be greater later. And that's the story of my life. Greater later. You know, I've had great mentors and great friends, and I've had terrible friends. I could have gone in either direction, you know, because they were just, and sometimes I spent just as equal time with them. You understand? And I've told you guys about my cousins. You know, I could have went left, could have went right. I believe in my heart of hearts. I'm not lying. I'm not G'ing you. I'm not BSing you. If I would have stayed in New York, I would have been the biggest drug dealer, one of the biggest drug dealers in America. I know with my brain and my ability to count and my just my organic self of being pragmatic and knowing what I knew and growing up in it and cutting it, and I'm just being real. I would have got caught because how can 30 to 100 to 200 moving parts be loyal? I'm going to get caught up eventually. I have no doubt in my mind I would have been a successful drug dealer. No doubt. It would have been documentaries on YouTube and I'm doing 25 to life. I can guarantee you that. I'm not proud of that, but I'm saying if I would have went left, you know, I had 4 cousins, my first cousins, my mom's sister. All 3 of them did time. Um, my mom had two other sisters that we all grew up together, and between them there were 6 boys. Curtis, Shavar, Carlton. Yeah, there's 5 boys, and we hung out together on the weekends and all that. And I have no doubt if maybe my mom saw this. I left at 8 years old, and I never went back to New York. But I'm just using you guys as that example. I'm not telling you I'm the biggest, the baddest, and the toughest. You understand? That's not where I'm going. But environment plays a big deal in this. I know I'm going off into 40, 50 different subjects right now, and I'm unapologetic about it. But it's on my heart, so I'm gonna share it with y'all. Um, um, So, because when I was 20 years old, 20, 21 years old, all those selfish things that I did, you got the ego, you want to be the sexiest, you want to be the strongest, you want to be the loudest, you want to, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's cool. I had no concept of what generational wealth was. I had no concept of what representing my last name was. I only lived for that moment. You know what I'm saying? And as you get older, you get wiser, or you get smarter. You get smarter and smarter and smarter. And you come across people, you come across YouTube pages, you come across great books, you come across better friends, you come across better business partners, better jobs. But what you do with that information is wisdom, the gift of application, how you apply it to your life to make your life greater. Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. As I digress, I'll close with the Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford thing. Yeah, they made a bet, and obviously it's 100. The winner is a 100% return on his money, which is staggering. Who gets 100% return on their money if you're not making bets in Vegas or eat straight up bets? Like, that's astronomical, right? But keep in mind, you also want to do that with the powers to be. You want to put yourself in a position where you can pay for your freedom or get your freedom back. You may not have to pay for it. You may have to work 50 more hours. You may have to make some concessions, make a deal. But keep yourself in position where you can own your freedom, right? People in jail making 13 cents an hour, putting out fires in California, 33 cents an hour, putting out fires in California. People were fighting for them to get wages, right? Wages. That's a whole nother topic of conversation. You understand? But people who didn't, I'm talking about the guilty ones. There are innocent people in jail. I'm talking about the guilty ones now, who didn't have wisdom. They had the knowledge, but they didn't have wisdom. Is the gift of application. All right? Keep yourself in position of power. Okay? Please, I urge you, I'm being honest. I'm being as open and as vulnerable and honest as I can be. All right? And anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Join the Patreon. 30-day challenge. Day 19 tomorrow. Is tomorrow the 19th, yo? Yo, for real. Don't get me excited. Because, god damn, my body's going through it. I ain't going to even lie to y'all motherfuckers. I don't even know what today's date is. I'm being honest. I took that widget off my phone, so I don't even have a date on it. But damn, I'm excited. It's day 11. We're going to assume it's day 11. We got 11 more days after this. And join the Patreon, $5. That step-by-step video I gave you guys to turn $30,000 into $1 million. You and your friends can do it. It's just do it. I abide by what I told you guys, exactly what I did. No secret. It's real life. You can do it in 7 to 10 years. I can guarantee you, based off of an LA market. I don't know what the market is in Chicago or small city, Iowa. I don't know what the market is, but in LA, if you do what I did in an LA market, you can be a millionaire in 10 years. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. And all it takes is a 2-year sacrifice to save up the initial investment. And if you follow that plan, you too will be a millionaire. And own property. And more importantly, own your motherfucking time. All right? Only thing you won't be able to control is when you die. Well, if you're going to die naturally. So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Join the Patreon. I'll holler at you guys soon. Peace.